Good afternoon. My name is Juan Flechas from 10B, and today I will talk to you about the story fragment of The House of the Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. The fragment is called My First Job. In this, we met Esperanza, a Mexican-American girl who lives in a poor Latino neighborhood in Chicago. Her family is going through difficult times, and she needs the money to pay for her Catholic school. This is how, thanks to her aunt Alala, Esperanza gets a new job and heads to her first day. I will begin my presentation by establishing the thesis, then I will expose three ideas that support it, and finally I will give a conclusion based on what I believe about the subject. So let's begin. Well, I consider that this fragment is a clear example that it is very important to have control over stress in our lives to be able to reach our goals. Because if we don't, we will not be able to act rationally and make the right decisions, as we can see in the case of Esperanza and her problem to adapt to her new job. Well, my first argument, and as I said before, is that if we do not have control over our stress level, we cannot think rationally. We were able to see this with Esperanza when, due to social pressure and the discomfort of being alone, she ended up sitting with a strange and old man who kissed her. Stress acts as an alarm in our minds that tries to get us out of our tasks and concerns as soon as possible. This is why, when we are stressed, we act in an accelerated way without being aware of what we are really doing. Our feelings and emotions begin to act precipitously, and sometimes we end up saying or doing the opposite of what we wanted. As a second argument, I consider that much of achieving our goals consists of having faith in ourselves, so having a low stress levels to distract us is very important. In the text, we could see how Esperanza was not sure of any of the actions that she took, and she didn't have enough motivation to find a job. If it hadn't been for her aunt Ala, Esperanza probably would have continued without a job for a long time. Stress can be an enemy on several occasions, since trying to focus on our goals we ended up doubting ourselves and questioning each of our decisions. This is why having a good stress management helps us to get rid of those negative thoughts that limit us and prevent us from moving forward. Lastly, when we have our stress level under control, we are likely to have a more alive and current social life than when we deal with a lot of stress. In the history, we could see how Esperanza felt really self-absorbed with her new work environment, and she didn't know where to ask his colleague if she could sit down at work or not. In addition, we also saw how since she was not a very sociable person, she ended up talking to the first person who was kind to her, being this person an old pervert. It is important that when we feel stressed and stagnant, we go to our friends and family and their advice, cause their advice could be useful to us. There is nothing wrong with asking when we have no knowledge about what we have to do, and talking with a friend or family member with confidence is very important so as not to feel that we are alone. In conclusion, I think that this fragment is a good example of how not to control our stress level in our first job. Because if we don't, we'll end up oversaturating ourselves with negative thoughts and questions like Esperanza. Stress is a necessary part of our lives, but it depends to us if we let him take control or not. Thank you very much.